You've been doing really good work about how to make change happen, how to understand what an individual wants, connect with them, teach them, make a change happen, engage. But there's something missing, something modern, something truly important that changes marketing forever. It's 7 words. It's the secret of the future of marketing. It's not about how I interact with my voice inside. It's something wider than that. And the 7 words are, people like us do things like this. That in fact, marketing is a cultural activity. That what we do when we bring our product and our story and our offering is we do more than engage with an individual. We engage with the people around that individual. That people ask themselves, what will I tell my boss? What will I tell my friends? What will people think of me? People like us do things like this. So, a small story that I think illustrates this. I live in a little town about 35 miles north of New York City. And during the 50s and 60s and 70s, it was an industrial working class town. 7,000 people came to work here every day. There was a dye factory and a quarry and a wire factory. And this town is proud of its blue-collar roots. Well, now it's a bedroom community that, because it's so close to Manhattan, plenty of people who live here have better than average incomes. So even though the 20% of the people who live in my town have a household income of under $25,000, we are economically diverse. And there are people who are hedge fund barons and people with big houses. Well, this conflict came to a head about 10 years ago, or maybe 5. We have great public schools in this little town, one school for each age. And one of them won a blue ribbon for at the federal level for being an extraordinary elementary school. People here are very proud of the public school. And every year the budget would pass. Well, about 5 years ago, it didn't. What happened was that part of the community quite loudly, quite cogently argued against raising taxes, and the budget failed. Well, this schism really tore apart the town. And what we had was a lot of traditional marketing where you found someone who disagreed with you and you argued with them to show why you were right. And what happens in our state is when the budget fails, you get one more try. And if it fails the second time, then really draconian efforts have to be taken. About 4 days before the election, a group of 3 people did something extraordinary. They went to the Notions store and bought 100 yards of blue ribbon. And in the middle of the night, on the big tree in front of the big school on the main street, they festooned it with hundreds of blue ribbons. That's all. No sign, no exclamation, no explanation. There it was. Well, the most extraordinary thing happened. Over the next 4 days, without any centralized control, blue ribbons started showing up throughout the town on hundreds of trees. And you can guess what happened. On election day, it passed 2-1. Why? Because people like us do things like this. Because it became clear that among the cohort that you seek to identify with, at least in this town, people like us celebrate the schools. People like us care about the kids. And so it passed. That lesson illustrates for me our opportunity. It begins with identify the smallest possible market. Smallest, because smallest means you can overwhelm it, means you can handle it, means you can spread the word among that circle of people. So yes, there are elements of tribes here, and we're going to talk about that upcoming. But the key is this. You can't change the culture of the United States or of North America, but you might be able to change the culture of an elementary school so that one kid brings in a yo-yo, and then 5 kids have yo-yos, and then 20 kids have yo-yos, and then suddenly it seems like everyone's got a yo-yo because people like us do things like this. That what we do when we apply this multiplier that comes from culture is we establish the culture. We communicate the culture. We make it clear who the people like us are and what the things like this are. And that is the hard work of this cultural marketing. People like us do things like this. So there's your challenge. Who are the people like us? What are the things like this?